April 14th, 1865. President Abraham Lincoln sits in Ford's Theater watching a comedy. Behind him, a pistol rises in the darkness. Welcome to History Unwritten. Today, what if Lincoln survived the bullet that was supposed to kill him? And the world we almost had. The Civil War had just ended 5 days earlier. 4 years of brutal fighting had killed 600,000 Americans, more than all other American wars combined. The South lay in ruins, its cities burned, its economy destroyed. Enslaved people were now free, but no one knew what freedom would actually mean. Would they get land, the right to vote, protection from their former masters? Lincoln had a plan. He called it Reconstruction, the rebuilding of the South and the integration of 4 million formerly enslaved people into American society. But powerful forces opposed him. Northern radicals wanted to punish the South harshly. Southern whites wanted to keep black people powerless. And one actor, John Wilkes Booth, wanted Lincoln dead. Booth believed killing Lincoln would revive the Confederate cause. He snuck into the presidential box, aimed his Derringer pistol at the back of Lincoln's head, and pulled the trigger. In our world, that bullet killed the president. But what if it missed? Booth pulls the trigger. The gunshot cracks through the theater. But Lincoln jerks forward at that exact instant, laughing at a joke from the stage. The bullet grazes his skull instead of penetrating it. Lincoln collapses, blood streaming from a deep wound along the side of his head, but he is breathing. The theater erupts in screams. Booth leaps from the box to the stage, shouting his motto, "Thus always to tyrants," and vanishes into the chaos. Within minutes, the best doctors in Washington rush to the president's side. The wound is terrible, the blood loss severe, but the brain itself is untouched. They stabilize him, stop the bleeding, and transport him carefully to the White House. For 3 days, the nation holds its breath. Newspapers print special editions hourly. In the South, some celebrate, hoping Booth succeeded. In the North, crowds gather outside the White House in silent vigil. On the third day, Lincoln opens his eyes. He is weak, his speech slurred, but his mind is clear. The president will live. Booth is captured 2 weeks later in a Virginia barn and executed swiftly. But the real question now grips the nation. What kind of country will Lincoln build from the ashes? By summer of 1865, Lincoln is back at work, though he walks with a cane and tires easily. The head wound has left him with occasional headaches and a slight droop on one side of his face, but his determination is stronger than ever. He has stared death in the face and survived. Now, he will finish what the war started. Lincoln moves quickly. He pushes through Congress the 14th Amendment, guaranteeing citizenship and equal protection under law to all people born in America, including the formerly enslaved. He establishes the Freedmen's Bureau with massive funding, not just for a few years, but as a permanent institution. The Bureau will distribute land confiscated from Confederate leaders to formerly enslaved families, 40 acres per family. It will build schools, hospitals, and courthouses across the South. Most importantly, Lincoln deploys 20,000 federal troops across former Confederate states, not as occupiers, but as protectors. Their job: ensure black citizens can vote, own property, and live without terror. Southern whites resist furiously. Secret societies like the Ku Klux Klan emerge, trying to intimidate black voters and burn their schools. But with Lincoln alive and federal troops present, these terrorists are hunted down and prosecuted. Hundreds are arrested. The message is clear: the United States will protect all its citizens. By 1868, the South looks radically different. In our timeline, Reconstruction collapsed within a decade, and white supremacists regained control. But in this world, Lincoln's sustained pressure and federal protection allow a new society to take root. Black men vote in massive numbers, electing black representatives to state legislatures and Congress. Hiram Revels becomes a United States Senator from Mississippi, not just briefly, but serving multiple terms. Black sheriffs, judges, and mayors take office across the South. The Freedmen's Bureau schools educate a generation. By 1870, literacy rates among black Southerners climb from 5% to nearly 40%. Thousands attend new black colleges. Economic power follows political power. Black-owned farms, businesses, and banks emerge. Cotton production rebounds, but now black farmers own the land they work. White Southern resistance continues, but it is a losing battle. Every time violence flares, federal marshals respond. Lincoln, serving his second term, he wins re-election easily in 1868, remains vigilant. He knows the moment federal protection wavers, the gains could vanish. So he does not waver. The transformation is not perfect. Racism remains deeply entrenched. But the law is on the side of equality, and the law is enforced. Lincoln dies in 1874, 9 years after the bullet that should have killed him. He is 75 years old, and he has lived to see the beginning of a truly reconstructed nation. His funeral draws hundreds of thousands, including tens of thousands of black Americans, who walk for days to pay respects to the man who saved the Union and then made it whole. The next decades unfold differently than in our world. Without the collapse of Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws, the brutal segregation system that defined the South for a century, never fully take hold. Black political power, once established and protected, proves difficult to dismantle. By 1900, black representatives still serve in Congress. Black citizens vote throughout the South. Lynching still occurs, but it is prosecuted as murder, not ignored. The economic gap between black and white Americans remains, but it is narrower. Black wealth accumulates over generations instead of being systematically destroyed. The cultural impact ripples forward. The Harlem Renaissance happens 20 years earlier. Black intellectuals, writers, and artists emerge from a population with education and resources. The Great Migration, where millions of black Americans fled the South for northern cities in our timeline, is smaller because the South is less unbearable. The civil rights movement of the 1960s either happens much earlier or is unnecessary because many rights were never lost. In our timeline, one bullet changed everything. Lincoln died, and the Reconstruction that followed was half-hearted and brief. By 1877, federal troops withdrew from the South. White supremacists seized back power. For the next 90 years, black Americans lived under apartheid in their own country. They could not vote, could not own property in most places, could not attend good schools, could not escape poverty or violence. The wealth gap that exists today, where the average white family has 10 times the wealth of the average black family, stems directly from those lost decades. The mass incarceration crisis, the segregated neighborhoods, the educational inequalities, all trace back to the failure of Reconstruction. But if Lincoln had survived, if federal protection had lasted just one more generation, the roots of equality might have grown deep enough to withstand the storms. The America of today would be unrecognizable. Not perfect, racism does not vanish because of one man or one policy, but the systematic, legal oppression that shaped a century might never have existed. Millions of lives lived differently, trillions of dollars of wealth not destroyed, a culture not forced to fight the same battles over and over. One bullet, 1 inch to the left, and the entire architecture of American injustice might have collapsed before it was ever fully built. That is the world we lost on April 14th, 1865. If you enjoyed exploring this world that almost was, give this video a like. It really helps us keep making these stories. Subscribe so you never miss the next alternate history, and tell me in the comments which moment in history should we rewrite next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.